Welcome back to my channel, my chosen babies, my chosen family, my chosen brother and sisters. How have y'all been? I miss y'all. And you know what? It's about that time. Chosen ones. We finna get started. Let's run it back. Welcome back to my channel, chosen ones. I love y'all. I miss y'all. Hope that everybody has been good since the last time I seen y'all. And guess what? Like I was saying, it's about to get real. We are about to start getting looked at like we crazy. So as chosen ones, we walk around with this light, and a lot of people don't like us. And see, we can sense it, but us being who we are, we just decide to just swipe it under the rug because if you don't intentionally try to hurt us or you don't really try to really make it too known that you don't like us, we know how to rock out with you. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. But it gets to a point to where sometimes it can shift your energy. And sometimes you're in a environment and you really don't supposed to be there. And the Lord will give us signs. He will give us signs. You know what I'm saying? You'll start having more bad days at work. You'll start not liking where you work at anymore. You ever work somewhere and you start off liking it, then as time goes on, you just stop feeling like that enthusiasm to clock in, to get ready for work. That's how it was with me with my recent job. And literally, as you progress in your journey, the Lord will shift you. And when He shifts you, don't try to fight the current. Because when you try to fight the current, you're going to end up just all discombobulated and you're not going to be at peace. So literally, like I said, y'all, I literally just went through that. I was working at Starbucks. When I first started Starbucks, I was excited. Like, I was like, oh, Starbucks. Literally, the Lord will give you what you want. If you have faith, you believe in Him, the Lord will literally give you what you want. I've been saying it's not going to be when you want it. Y'all got to understand, we're not on our own timing. We are on God's timing. We are on the Lord's timing. So just because you want to work somewhere when you want to work there, you want to do something when you want to do it, you want to get this car when you want to get this car, you want to move when you want to move, we're not on our own timing. So if it ain't your time for the Lord to put you there, it ain't gonna happen. So I had been saying that I wanted to work at a coffee spot, and before I got at Starbucks, I was at McDonald's. And let me tell y'all how the Lord will shift y'all. McDonald's, it started off, oh my gosh, it's like so much to it. It's so much to it because I was working at this other job. It's called Pactive, and it's a warehouse job. And I got on at that job because at the time, me and my family, we were homeless. And when I say homeless, I just mean like we didn't have like, a lease or nothing, like an actual home. We were staying in a hotel when we first moved out here for a few months. And you know, I've had a few jobs. I've been out here where I'm at now for like 3 years. And so when we first moved out here from our hometown, um, it was hard trying to find somewhere. It was hard trying to find somewhere to stay. But the Lord always had us. Even if we had to stay in a hotel, we literally always made it work. We made it do what it do. Even if sometimes we had to sleep in the car, live out the car, very, very humbling experience. And the Lord will not take you through anything that He feel like you can't handle. So just know when you're going through your trials and your tribulations, that the Lord got you every step of the way. He know that you're going to have the mindset to get through it, and that same mindset is going to come in handy along down the line in your life, whether you're blessed, whether you're stressed, not actually stressed, but whether you're going through a situation or not. So, literally, I was just getting provided with jobs. Like if I apply somewhere and I wasn't meant to get it, I just went and get it for some odd reason. Even though my resume was good, the interview went well, the job will still just not hire me. And I'd be like, what? Like, but I worked at this type of job before. Why would they? You know what I'm saying? So the Lord will literally give you what you need when you need it. And He knows. And during the time you may think like it don't make sense to you, but He already got everything planned, steps C, D, and E already lined up for you. So yeah, y'all, I was working at this warehouse called Pactive, and it was good money. The hours were pretty good. but they wouldn't give me my Saturday off. And during this time, I wasn't really celebrating Sabbath. And this was like a year ago. I wasn't, like I told y'all, I'm fresh on my walk, and I'm, now I celebrate Sabbath. If I apply for a job, I let them know, look, I can't work Saturdays, can't do it. Um, but yeah, so during that time, I was working on Saturdays. I would get every other Saturday off, and I would start feeling convicted. Like, he'll let you stay somewhere for a little minute, because during that time, I needed that money, and I was able to get my apartment with that particular job that I had. Just the way he had things lined up, it was so perfect. But as time progressed on, it's just like, okay, I was at that job for a season. I'm in my apartment now, and it's like, you need to start celebrating the Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? So I had started feeling this conviction. And it got to the point where I was just like, okay, I asked my boss, like, hey, look, is there any way you can change my schedule around so that I can have Saturdays off? He was like, no, not unless, you know, you got to be here for this certain amount of time, and you got to work this type of schedule, this type of shift, or whatever. Because the way the schedule was, it was like a 2-2-3 schedule. So the schedule was the schedule, you know what I'm saying? Work every other weekend. So I used to drink so bad. Like, during that time, I was drinking. Like I said, like a year and some change ago, freshly like a year, I was drinking heavily. I was drinking and driving. And, you know, one night I got into some mess, and I was involved in like a little minor car accident, and I lost my job. I lost that job that wouldn't give me Saturdays off. Um, because the Lord knew that I was settling, even though in my heart I wanted to leave that job because they're not trying to give me my Saturdays off, but the money was good. You get overtime, you get benefits, you get 401k, you know what I'm saying? The money was good. And it made me feel like, you know, independent. I got my apartment now, and I need this job to, but the Lord will quickly humble you and let you know, no, I gave you that. You never needed that. I gave you that to bless you for this season. But now, if you don't want to continue on with what you're supposed to do, well, let me take that away. That's how the Lord works. So I was in that accident. Of course, I was unharmed. The people was unharmed. Literally, I fell asleep at the wheel at 1.2 seconds, coming from somewhere I had no business going in the first place. And just like that, literally, I'm like 2 minutes from my house at the light. My house is literally down the street. My eyes closed for like 2 seconds, and my foot came off the gas. And literally, if my foot would have came off the gas like 2 seconds sooner, I probably wouldn't even be here right now. Because that van was coming so fast, it just scraped the front of the car, and it took off the front grill. But yeah, I would have, been gone. And that's not the first time the Lord has saved my life while I was drinking and driving. He will scuff you up a little bit, not enough to take you on home, but just enough to, like, you know what I'm saying, get you right and get you where you're supposed to be. You know, so yeah, that happened. End up losing the job. End up having to tell them, look, I can't work there no more. I don't have any transportation. The Lord stripped me of transportation. So now I have to find something in the area. Something. The job was too far out. The lifts was like $40. That was too expensive. I wasn't gonna be able to afford that. At this time, I have an apartment now. I got rent. I'm a mom. I'm a single parent. Like, I got my daughter. I have, what I'm saying, all this type of stuff like that. So yeah, very, very humbling situation. And so that was that. I moved on to another job, McDonald's. It was somewhere that was literally right down the street from my house. I can walk there. It was convenient. Y'all, this is one place I said I will never work at. I ended up at a place I never said I would work at. The Lord will humble you. I started working at McDonald's. They started me off at $12.50. I went from $22 to $12.50. Yeah, very humbling experience. How I was up here, my own apartment now, finally my first own apartment. got a good job making 2250. You know, I'm driving, I got my car to car accident, lose job, um, pay rate drop, just like that. Just like that, y'all. You know, and you don't realize until when it all boils down that that needed to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? That needed to happen to you. He's gonna make sure you go through what you have to go through to get the lesson. And if you don't get the lesson, you will continue to go through the same thing over and over and over again until you get it. That's God's grace. He will literally take you through the same cycle until you get it right. Now, if you just can't get it right, you need to pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you truly called a chosen one, you want that relationship with the Lord, you will begin to get it. You know what I'm saying? He has to teach us in order for us to grow in him and to be able to speak about these testimonies. That's why we go through these things, and he get us through it, because everything that we go through is supposed to bring God's name glory. Our testimony, he tests us, and we learn our lessons, and we talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, ooh, y'all. So yeah, I was saying all that just to say, you know, you're gonna go through those situations. He gotta take you through those seasons, but you can't buck the system. You have to let the process happen. Sometimes we get so caught up that we try to buck the system, and you feel the Lord nudging you. You feel it. You feel it, and you keep trying to you keep trying to buck. Don't buck. Trust the process. Trust the process. Stop trying to hold on to that job. Stop trying to hold on to that apartment. Stop trying to hold on to that girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse. If the Lord is sending you messages, red flags, signs, and you feel that nudge in your spirit, trust the process. Let go, let God. Stop trying to hold on to these things that are no longer serving you. He has to elevate us. He has to elevate us. It's not always what you want. He knows what you need. Remember that. I love y'all. This video is 12 minutes long. I didn't want to make it too long, but I may make another video tonight. I don't know. I'm going to see, but I love y'all. I hope you learned something from this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings. Out.